I always thought mirrors were harmless. Just glass and silver, nothing more. But the night my reflection walked away, I learned how wrong I was. It started on a Thursday evening. I had just moved into my new apartment, a small, quiet place on the edge of the city, the kind of place where nothing ever happens, or so I thought. The bathroom mirror was old, framed in dark wood carved with strange symbols I didn't recognize. The landlord said it came with the apartment and couldn't be removed. I didn't care. A mirror was a mirror, but that night something felt off. I was brushing my teeth when I noticed it. My reflection blinked a second too late. I froze. I leaned closer. My reflection leaned too, but slower, as if it were thinking about it first. I whispered, "What the hell?" My reflection smiled. I didn't. I stumbled backward, knocking over a bottle of soap. The reflection didn't react. It just stood there, smiling at me with a smile I had never made in my life. Then it lifted its hand. I didn't move. It waved, slowly, mockingly. I ran out of the bathroom and slammed the door. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. I tried to convince myself I was tired, stressed, imagining things. But then I heard it, a soft tapping from inside the bathroom. Tap, tap, tap like fingers on glass. I approached the door slowly. The tapping stopped. I opened the door. The mirror was empty, no reflection, just the bathroom behind me. I stepped closer, breath shaking. Then something moved behind me. I turned nothing. I looked back at the mirror. My reflection was standing behind me in the glass, but not in the room. It leaned close to the mirror surface and whispered, "Let me out." The lights flickered, the mirror cracked, and my reflection stepped forward, out of the glass, into the room. I stumbled backward, hitting the wall. The thing that looked like me tilted its head, studying me like a scientist examining an insect. It whispered, "You don't need this life anymore." I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My reflection smiled and walked away, leaving me alone, with no reflection and no idea what it planned to do with my life. When my reflection walked out of the mirror, it didn't run. It didn't attack me. It didn't even look back. It simply walked down the hallway with my posture, my steps, my breathing, but with a confidence I never had. I stayed frozen in the bathroom, staring at the cracked mirror. The glass was still trembling, as if something else wanted to come through. I backed away slowly, afraid to blink, afraid to breathe. Then I heard it, my voice, coming from the hallway. "Relax. You won't need this life anymore." I stepped into the hall. My reflection, the thing wearing my face, was standing in the living room, looking around like it was inspecting a new home. It touched the couch, it opened the fridge, it looked out the window, all with a strange curiosity, like someone trying on a life that didn't belong to them. I whispered, "What are you?" It turned toward me. Its smile was wrong. Too wide, too sharp, too practiced. "I'm you," it said, "just better." I shook my head. "You're not me." It stepped closer. "You created me." My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" It tapped its chest. "You fed me every time you hated yourself. Every time you wished you were someone else. Every time you looked in the mirror and wished the person staring back wasn't you." I stumbled backward. It continued. "You didn't want your life, so I took it." I ran to the front door, but it moved faster than I expected. Impossibly fast. It grabbed the door and slammed it shut. "You're not going anywhere." I backed away, shaking. "What do you want?" It tilted its head. "Your place." It walked past me and headed toward the bedroom. I followed it, terrified. It opened my closet, pulled out my jacket, and put it on. Then it looked at me with a cold, empty expression. "You stay here, I'll take care of everything." I whispered, "You can't just walk out there pretending to be me." It smiled. "I already am." It walked toward the front door again. I grabbed its arm. It turned slowly. Its eyes changed. They weren't mine anymore. They were black, empty, hungry. It whispered, "Don't touch me." I let go immediately. It opened the door. Before leaving, it looked back one last time. "You don't deserve this life." "But I do." Then it stepped outside and closed the door behind it. I ran to the window. My reflection, my other self, walked down the street like it had lived there forever. And for the first time in my life, I had no reflection. Not in the window, not in the mirror, not anywhere. I wasn't just replaced. I was erased. When my reflection walked out of the apartment and disappeared into the night, I stood frozen in the doorway, unable to breathe. The street was quiet, too quiet. No cars, no people. No sound except the faint hum of streetlights. I whispered to myself, "This isn't real." But it was. I stepped outside, scanning the street. My reflection was gone, but the air felt wrong. heavier, colder, as if something had shifted in the world the moment it left the mirror. I walked back inside and turned on every light in the apartment. I needed brightness. I needed noise. I needed anything that made me feel like I still existed. But when I passed the hallway mirror, my heart stopped. There was still no reflection, not even a shadow. I touched the glass. Cold, dead empty. I whispered, "What did you do to me?" The mirror didn't answer, but something else did. A soft knock at the door. 3 slow, deliberate knocks. I froze. Another knock. I approached the door carefully, my breath shaking. I didn't open it. I just pressed my ear against the wood. Silence. Then my own voice whispered from the other side, "Let me in." I stumbled backward, heart pounding. My reflection, the thing wearing my face, was outside. I whispered, "Why did you come back?" The voice answered, "I forgot something. I didn't dare open the door." Instead, I ran to the window and peeked through the blinds. My reflection stood on the sidewalk, staring up at my window. Its posture was perfect, its expression calm. But its eyes were wrong. Black empty, hungry. It lifted its hand and pointed at me. Then it smiled, not a human smile, a predator's smile. I dropped the blinds and backed away. My phone buzzed, a message. "From my number, I know you're watching me." I dropped the phone. My reflection was using my number, my life, my identity. I whispered, "What do you want?" Another message came through. "You don't deserve this life, but I do. And I'm going to live it better than you ever did." I felt the room spin. My reflection wasn't just replacing me, it was erasing me. I ran to the bathroom and stared at the cracked mirror again. Still no reflection, but something else appeared. Words forming in the fog on the glass. "He isn't done." I stepped back. The lights flickered, the apartment trembled. And from the hallway I heard footsteps, slow, heavy. Coming toward me, I whispered, "No, no, no." The footsteps stopped outside the bathroom door. My reflection whispered, "Let me show you what it feels like to disappear." The doorknob turned. The doorknob turned slowly, as if whoever, or whatever, was on the other side wanted me to hear every second of it. I pressed myself against the far wall of the bathroom, my breath shallow, my hands shaking uncontrollably. The door creaked open, but no one stepped inside. The hallway was empty, silent, too silent. I took one cautious step forward, then another. The air felt colder, heavier, as if the apartment itself was holding its breath. I peeked into the hallway. Nothing. No footsteps, no shadow. No reflection, but the apartment felt wrong, like someone had rearranged the air. I walked into the living room. My reflection was sitting on the couch. Leg crossed, hands folded, smiling. It looked at me like I was the intruder. "I told you," it said softly. "You don't need this life anymore." I backed away. "Why are you doing this?" It tilted its head. "Because you wasted everything I wanted." I swallowed hard. "You're not me." It laughed. A cold, hollow sound that didn't belong to any human throat. "I'm the version of you that you buried. The one you ignored. The one you hated. Every time you looked in the mirror and wished you were someone else, you fed me." I shook my head. "That's not how mirrors work." It stood up. "That's exactly how they work." It walked toward me, slow and deliberate, like a predator enjoying the chase. "You think mirrors show you who you are," it whispered. "But they show you who you could become." I stumbled backward into the hallway. It followed. "You created me," it said. "And now I'm free." I reached the bathroom and slammed the door, locking it. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would burst. I grabbed the cracked mirror with both hands. "Give me my reflection back," I whispered. The mirror fogged over. Words appeared slowly, as if written by an invisible finger. "He won't give it back." I stepped away. The lights flickered. The apartment trembled. My reflection's voice echoed through the hallway. "You don't understand," it said. "I'm not here to steal your life." I froze. "I'm here to replace you." The bathroom door handle twisted violently. I held my breath. The door shook harder. Then it stopped. Silence. I leaned closer, listening. A whisper came from the other side. "You're fading." I looked at my hands. They were becoming translucent. I could see the tiles through my skin. No. My reflection whispered, "You don't exist without me." The mirror cracked again. A piece fell off and shattered on the floor. And in the broken shards, I saw nothing. No face, no body. No reflection. I was disappearing. I stared at my hands as they slowly faded, the skin turning translucent like smoke dissolving in the air. Panic surged through me. I pressed my palms against the bathroom sink, trying to feel something. the cold porcelain, the weight of my own body. But even that sensation was slipping away. I whispered, "I'm disappearing." From the hallway, my reflection laughed. Not loudly, not wildly. Just a soft, satisfied laugh. The kind someone makes when everything is going exactly as planned. It stepped into the bathroom doorway, blocking the exit. Its eyes were still black, but now they glowed faintly, like embers in a dying fire. "You're fading faster than I expected," it said. "Good. That means I'm doing this right." I backed away until my spine hit the wall. "Why are you doing this? Why me?" It smiled. "Because you never wanted to be you." I shook my head. "That's not true." It stepped closer. "Every time you looked in the mirror, you wished you were someone else, someone stronger, someone better, someone who didn't make mistakes." Its voice deepened. "You wished for me." I felt my chest tighten. "I didn't wish for this." "You did," it whispered. "And now I'm giving you what you wanted." It reached out and touched my shoulder. My skin flickered like static. I gasped, not from pain, but from the cold. A cold so deep it felt like it was freezing my soul. "You're becoming what you always saw in the mirror," it said. Nothing. I pushed its hand away, but my fingers passed through its arm like mist. I was losing substance, losing weight, losing existence. I stumbled out of the bathroom and into the living room. The lights flickered violently. The walls seemed to pulse, as if the apartment itself was breathing. I grabbed the nearest object, a lamp, and threw it at my reflection. It passed right through. My reflection didn't even blink. "You can't hurt me," it said. "I'm real now." I backed into the corner, shaking. "What do you want from me?" It tilted its head. "I want you to understand." "Understand what?" "That you were never meant to live this life." It stepped closer, but I was. I felt my legs weaken, my vision blurred. The room dimmed around me. My reflection leaned in, its face inches from mine. "You're almost gone," it whispered. "Just let go." I closed my eyes. And then a sound, a sharp metallic crack. I opened my eyes. The bathroom mirror, the cracked, trembling mirror, shattered completely. Glass exploded across the floor. My reflection froze. Its eyes widened. No. I felt something rush back into me. Warmth, weight, breath. My hands solidified. My skin returned. My body regained substance. I was coming back. My reflection screamed, a distorted, inhuman sound that shook the walls. "You broke the anchor!" it shouted. "You weren't supposed to break it." I stood up, stronger than before. "What happens now?" I asked. It backed away, trembling. "You can't exist without me," it whispered. I stepped forward. "Watch me." My reflection's body flickered like a dying flame. "Nope, nope, nope," and then it vanished. Gone, like smoke. Like a shadow, like a nightmare waking up. I collapsed to the floor, gasping for air. I had my body back. My existence, my life. But the apartment was silent. Too silent. And in the broken shards of the mirror, something moved. Something still inside, something waiting. The apartment was silent after my reflection vanished. But it wasn't the silence of peace. It was the silence of something waiting, watching, breathing in the walls. I stood in the middle of the living room, surrounded by shattered glass from the broken mirror. Every shard reflected nothing, not my face, not my body, not even my shadow. I whispered, "I'm back, right?" But the room didn't answer. I walked to the window and looked at my reflection in the glass. Nothing, no outline, no silhouette, no trace of me. I was solid again. I could feel the floor beneath my feet, the air in my lungs. But the world refused to acknowledge my existence. I wasn't fading anymore, but I wasn't fully here either. I whispered, "What did you do to me?" A faint whisper drifted through the apartment. Not from the hallway, not from the door. From the broken mirror, I knelt beside the shards. The largest piece trembled. A voice echoed from inside it. Distant, distorted, like someone screaming from underwater. "You didn't destroy me." My heart stopped. It was my reflection. "Still alive, still trapped, still angry. You broke the anchor," it said. "But you didn't break the bond." I backed away. "What bond?" The shard pulsed with a faint, sickly light. "You and I are still connected. You can't exist without me. And I can't exist without you." I shook my head. "You're gone." "You disappeared." The shard laughed, and made a cold, metallic sound. "I didn't disappear. I went back." "Back where?" "To where reflections come from." The room grew colder. The lights flickered. The shadows stretched across the floor like long, reaching fingers. "You think mirrors show you reality," it whispered. "But they show you the world behind it." I swallowed hard. "What do you want now?" The shard's surface rippled like liquid. I want you to finish what you started. I didn't start anything. You did, it hissed. When you broke the mirror, you opened the passage. The floor vibrated, the walls groaned, the air thickened, a low hum filled the room. The same hum I heard the moment my reflection stepped out of the glass. The shard whispered, "He's coming." I froze. Who? The shard cracked again, and a second voice, deeper, older, inhuman, whispered from the broken glass, "The one who made us." The lights went out. The apartment shook violently. Something moved in the darkness. Tall, thin, shifting like smoke. I stumbled backward, heart pounding. The voice whispered again, "You freed him." A cold hand brushed my shoulder. I screamed. The darkness whispered, "And now he wants you." The cold hand on my shoulder tightened, its grip sinking through my skin like ice melting into bone. I spun around, but the room was pitch black. No lights, no shapes, no walls. Just darkness stretching in every direction. I wasn't in my apartment anymore. I was somewhere else, somewhere behind the mirror. A voice echoed through the void, deep and ancient, vibrating through my ribs. "You broke the anchor, but you opened the passage." I stumbled backward, but there was no floor, just a surface that felt like glass and water at the same time. Every step sent ripples of light beneath my feet. A faint glow appeared ahead of me. A figure tall, thin, shifting like smoke. Not my reflection, something older. Something that had been waiting. I whispered, "Who are you?" The figure's voice was layered, thousands of whispers speaking at once. I am the one who shapes the reflections, the one who gives them form, the one who waits for the cracks. I swallowed hard. "Why me?" "You fed him," it said. Every doubt, every self-hatred, every wish to be someone else. You carved him from your own shadow. The darkness pulsed around us. "And when you broke the mirror," it continued, "you freed me." I backed away. "I didn't mean to." "You did," it said. "And now you must take his place." My heart stopped. "What do you mean?" The figure raised its hand. A mirror formed behind me and tall, cracked, glowing faintly. Inside it, I saw myself. But not the version that escaped. This was me, the real me, terrified. Weak, fading. The figure whispered, "Every reflection needs a source." I shook my head. No, I'm not going in there." "You don't have a choice." The mirror pulled at me, a force like gravity, dragging me backward. I dug my heels into the shifting floor, but it was useless. The pull grew stronger. The figure stepped closer. "He took your place in the world." "You will take his place in the glass." I screamed. "I'm not a reflection." The figure leaned close. "You are now." The mirror swallowed my legs, then my torso. I clawed at the edges, but my hands passed through the glass like water. Inside the mirror, the world looked distorted, stretched, warped, silent. The figure whispered one last time, "Reflections don't live. They wait." The mirror sealed shut. I pressed my palms against the inside of the glass, screaming silently. On the other side, my reflection, the one who stole my life, stood in my apartment, smiling. It looked at the mirror, at me, and whispered, "Enjoy your new home." Then it turned off the lights and walked away, leaving me trapped, forever watching, forever waiting, forever silent. Just a reflection,